The next prompt is, your physique is in your control. Can the agreeers please step forward?
You've probably seen debates like this before, whether on YouTube or social media. Channels like Jubilee stir up millions of views with these kinds of discussions, and today I'm diving into one of the most controversial questions. Is being fat a choice? On the Jubilee channel, there are usually two camps in this debate. Fit people on one side and fat people on the other. I've already made a video commenting on one of these debates, and this is sort of like a part 2 to that video, because I felt like I couldn't do justice to the is being fat a choice question without making that video too long. So I'm going to share my opinion on that topic in detail. You can go ahead and watch the first video if you want, then come back to this one. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel as I make more videos like this that you might like. Just to clarify, I'll be using the words fat and obese interchangeably in this video. While obese is a more clinical term used to describe an unhealthy level of fat, fat is often used more casually and sometimes negatively. But here, I'm just using it to describe a body type without any judgment. So, the answer to the question at hand is pretty simple, but not so simple at the same time. I believe that yes, obesity is a choice, but not in the way you might think. Let me explain what I mean.
Let me tell you something! Let me tell you something!
Since a simple yes leaves so many other questions unanswered. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can obesity be a choice? It's not like you wake up one day and decide, I'm gonna be fat. But just like in any decision, it's not a single conscious choice. It's a series of small choices made over time. Let me give you an example. Two people win the lottery and their net worth goes from $10,000 to $1 million. One decides to spend it on luxury products and a luxurious lifestyle, buying a bigger house, a Mercedes, and generally living an expensive life. The other person decides to only make small upgrades to their life, like eating better and fixing some things on their car. They invest the rest of the money and focus on growing it. After 2 years, person A has blown through most of the $1 million and will be officially broke in a matter of months. Person B has managed to grow that 1 million to 5 million. Her investments paid off, and her being more frugal meant she was getting a lot more money into her bank account than she was getting out. Now, can we say that person A chose to go broke? On the surface, no. They didn't realize that going broke would be the outcome of their actions. They were just living carefree with no regard for what their actions would mean. Living in the moment, so to say. Person B, however, was a lot more intentional with their actions. She knew the implications of every one of her choices and knew that it would all eventually lead to her making more money. So both actually chose their outcomes, but person A did not make that decision consciously and directly. Rather, the series of small decisions they made led to them being broke. They chose to make those decisions, so they chose to become broke. The choices that lead to gaining weight might not feel significant at first. Just like spending money on small luxuries doesn't seem like a big deal when you're living in the moment, little decisions like eating a bit more than you need or skipping a workout can accumulate into a much bigger result. Weight gain. I want us to talk a little more about these little decisions that ultimately cause weight gain. But before I do that, let's first look at the biology of how a person gains weight. The body requires energy to function, maintain its systems, and fuel daily activities, and this energy comes from the food we consume, typically measured in calories. If you consume the same amount of calories your body needs to maintain its current weight and activity levels, your body will stay stable. However, if you choose to consume more calories than your body can use, the excess energy is stored for future use, primarily as fat. This process is part of the body's natural survival mechanism, allowing it to store energy in case of food scarcity. On the flip side, if you consume fewer calories than your body requires, your body starts to use the stored fat for energy. This is how weight loss occurs. The balance between how much energy you take in and how much energy your body uses determines whether you gain or lose weight. However, if your calorie intake consistently exceeds your body's needs, for example by eating calorie-dense foods or not being physically active enough, your body will continually store the surplus as fat. This fat accumulation is what leads to weight gain over time. There are several factors that can contribute to overeating or reduced physical activity, and many of them are beyond an individual's immediate control. Psychological factors like stress and depression can significantly impact eating behaviors. For example, when under stress, some individuals individuals may engage in emotional eating, seeking comfort in high-calorie foods like ice cream or general junk food. This type of eating is often a coping mechanism to temporarily alleviate negative feelings or anxiety, but it can lead to weight gain over time. In fact, it definitely will lead to weight gain over time. Genetics also play a crucial role in how the body processes food and regulates hunger. Some people may have a genetic predisposition to feel hungrier more often or to metabolize food more slowly. These individuals might find it harder to manage their appetite, making it easier to overeat. Hormonal imbalances such as issues with leptin, the hormone that signals fullness, or insulin resistance can also disrupt normal hunger and satiety cues, contributing to overeating or poor metabolism. Medications are another important factor. Many common medications such as antidepressants, antipsychotics, and corticosteroids have side effects that can lead to weight gain. These drugs may alter hormone levels, increase appetite, or lower metabolism, making it easier to gain weight even with relatively normal food intake. For example, some medications may cause insulin resistance, which disrupts the way the body handles glucose, converting it to fat rather than using it for energy. Social and environmental influences also play a significant role. People who live in environments where unhealthy food is easily accessible, such as fast food restaurants, or where sedentary activities like watching TV or playing video games are the norm, are more likely to engage in behaviors that lead to weight gain. Peer pressure and social norms around food can also contribute. If your friends and family often eat out or indulge in unhealthy foods, it can be harder to make healthier choices. While these factors can make weight management more difficult, it's important to remember that they do not completely eliminate the ability to make healthier decisions. At the end of the day, you make the decision to eat 3,000 to 3,300 calories when your body only needs 2,700. Yes, you may have a disadvantage. You may have genetics that make it hard for you to stop eating, or you may be on medication that makes you feel tired all the time. I understand how hard it is for people in those positions, especially people who have a combination of these advantages. However, such people can still choose to eat fewer calories. Notice how I said eat fewer calories, not eat less food. You and I can both eat a total of 1 kg of food, but you will have eaten 800 calories less than me. I chose to eat high-calorie foods, even though I know I'm at a disadvantage that puts me at a higher risk of becoming overweight. In the case of such people, it comes down to educating themselves on nutrition and learning to be more active in a way that they enjoy. Once they make those decisions, you can see them start to lose weight. There are people who do not have any of these disadvantages and are fat simply due to social factors. They eat out at fast food restaurants all the time, they drink a lot, or they simply do not move enough to burn calories. These people are making decisions that cause their weight gain. They could eat healthier, drink less, and move more. The same way they can make a decision to lose weight is the same way they can make a decision to be fat. The only difference is losing weight is a decision people often actively make, while gaining weight is a decision that people often subconsciously make. So to wrap up, the question of whether being fat is a choice or not is not as black as white as it may seem. While there are definitely external factors that can make it harder for some people to maintain a healthy weight, ultimately the choices we make every day play a huge role in the outcome. Being overweight or obese doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of small, consistent decisions like what you eat, how much you move, and how much care you take with your body. And yes, these decisions are in our control, even if it's difficult at times. So while I understand that people face challenges, I still believe that making better choices about nutrition, exercise, and lifestyle can help anyone, regardless of their circumstances, to live a healthier life. And that's why I say obesity is, in a way, a choice, but it's a series of choices that you make over time. In the same manner, losing weight is a result of some small positive decisions made on a day-to-day basis. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think obesity is a choice, or do you see it differently? Drop your comments below and let's have a real conversation about it. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this, and remember, no matter where you are in your journey, it's all about making better choices, one step at a time. I'll see you in the next video. Remember to stay natural.